If you can't read a candle, it is very difficult to trade. Okay, but here's the thing. Most beginner traders they recognize the candle, but they really don't truly understand what the candle is actually telling them. So today I'm going to show you both. I'm going to explain the anatomy of the candle and also the meaning of the candle and what it's telling you. Okay, I trade generally pre-market momentum stocks, and I'm going to give you some examples. All right, who is this video for? It's for beginner traders who have maybe seen a chart once or twice. They know what the candle kind of looks like, but they don't know what it's saying. Okay? Why candles and not lines? I mean, a line chart looks a lot simpler, but the problem is that only has one piece of information. It has usually the closing price of the candle for that time period. A candle, the closing price of that stock for a period. A candle shows you four numbers for that period of time: the open, the high, the low, and the close. That's four times the information and the same amount of space. So once you can read candles, you won't go back. Lines feel like watching trading with one eye closed, you know? It's not good. All right, so let's look at a graphic that I have. Okay. Every candle has three parts. Okay, the body, the upper wick, and the lower wick. Okay, the body is the rectangle here. All right, and then that's the open at the bottom. For a green candle, the open's at the bottom and the closes at the top. That means the buyer's won. For a red candle, the open's at the top and the closes at the bottom. The seller's won. All right, the wicks are sometimes called tails, and those are the thin lines above and below the body. Okay, the top of the upper wick is the highest point that the price reached during that period, and the bottom of the bottom of the lower wick is the lowest. They show you the full range of price action within that time period, not just the open and the close. So one candle will give you four prices. It gives you an open, a close, the high, and the low. Memorize that. I'm telling you, you're going to need it. Okay. Now, when I say time period, I mean the time frame of the chart you're looking at. Let me show you in Trader View. In Trader View, when you click into a trade, you can set it up so that you can see charts. So here I have the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and the daily. So in each 1 minute candle, that right here, okay, this red candle, this was the open, this was the close, this is the highest the price went during that minute, and this is the lowest the price went during that minute. And you can see that each candle on the 5 minute chart, so this represents all of the price action within 1 minute. On the 5 minute chart, a candle represents all of the price action within 5 minutes. On a daily chart, it represents all of the price action within 1 day. However, it only takes into consideration the price action between 9:30 a.m. and 4 p.m., which is the market open. It doesn't incorporate the overnight price action, if any. So a 5 minute candle would have five 1 minute candles within it. Now, I sometimes trade on the 10-second chart for micro pullbacks, and so that would be 6 10-second candles in a 1 minute candle. Okay, so the smaller the time frame, the more candles you're going to see. All right, and the more detail you're going to get. But the trade-off is there's a lot more noise. The bigger the time frame, it'll filter out the noise, but you miss the moments. So you kind of need both of them. You need multi-time frame alignment, and I did a video on that already. You can check that out in my fundamentals playlist, and that will kind of help you understand why it's so important to have multi-time frame alignment. All right, so what are the wicks telling us? Let's look at this graphic here. Okay, the body and the wicks together tell a story. They tell a story of what happened within, let's just for the sake of the video, for the rest of the video, let's say that we're talking about 1 minute candles. It tells you the story about everything that happened inside during that minute. Okay, look at this first candle. It has a long upper wick, a smaller body, and a tiny low wick. So this is the story. Here, the price opened here at the top of the body, At one point, the price went all the way up here, but sellers showed up and slammed it all the way back down, and it closed down. It even went down this far, and then it settled right here and it closed here. Okay, this is sometimes called a rejection candle. All right, that's the market telling you, not today. Okay, this second candle, this is an indecision candle. All right, the open and closes are almost equal. Okay, the price pretty much doesn't. The open and close is very similar, but the price went all the way up here and all the way down here. You can see that this is called indecision. Nobody won. All right. The buyers and the sellers were battling, and in the end, nobody won. The price ended up exactly where it started. All right, this third candle, it has a very full, long body and two tiny, tiny little wicks. Okay. It opened here and kept moving up, kept moving up, kept moving up, and closed here. And you see there was very little price action at the high and the low. That's strength. This is the kind of candle that I want to see when I'm looking at a momentum setup. Oh, I love these long green candles. Okay. So once you start reading candles like this, every candle tells a story. All right. And when you put them together, it gives you a richer, deeper story and gives you more information. Okay. The chart is like, yeah, the chart tells a story. Okay. Red versus green. It's not really binary. Red doesn't always mean bearish and green doesn't always mean bullish. And I know that's extremely confusing, but a red candle inside a strong upward trend with a small body and a long lower wick, it's just a temporary pullback. Some sellers tried to, so let me show you an example. All right, so let me see if I can find an example here. I want to look for kind of a micro pullback. All right, here we go. Here, let me see if I can find a better example. Here we go. So here you see green candles, then a red candle, another red candle, green candle, red candle, green candle, red candle. So you have to look at the overall pattern. Okay, you have to look at the overall pattern here. Someone's taking profit, someone's taking profit, someone's taking profit. And here, this has a long candle wick at the top. Okay, this can often signal a reversal. But again, I'm not going to get into the many, many, many different kinds of candles that there are with all the different names. Some of them are really adorable, but suffice it to say, what you want to do is you want to look at the charts, look at the size of the candle, look at the tails or the wicks, and that will give you more information because yes, there are red candles here, but the price action is still going up overall. Okay, so you can't just look at whether it's a red or green candle in isolation. You have to look at it in the context of the entire chart. That is extremely important. Okay, color is the headline, but you have to look at the body, the wicks, and the chart as a whole to get the entire story. All right, so let's look at, I have one more graphic. Where is it? Okay, I have one more graphic here. This is a micro pullback setup. It's one of the setups that I trade. Okay, candles 1 and 2 here. Okay, they are strong, full-bodied green candles. Okay, no huge upper wicks. The buyer's in control. Okay, the price opens here, closes here, opens here, closes here. That's what I'm looking for when I'm trading. Okay, candles 3 and 4 are small red bodies. Notice they're really small. Okay, there's some selling, but it didn't push it all the way back to the bottom. It came back maybe 25%. That's great. Okay, if it comes back all the way to the bottom, I'm not interested. All right, and then candle 5, look at that. It's green again, full body, picking up right where this initial push left off. That's my entry signal. Okay, the pullback is over and momentum is resuming. So sometimes it's not a full reversal. It's just a momentary sell-off, a momentary pullback, like in a micro pullback or a bull flag pullback, and then the momentum resumes higher. That is exactly what I'm looking for. Okay. But the candle alone is not the entry. All right. You have to also look at volume. However, that's another video, and we're not going to talk about that today. But volume plus price action will give you a lot of information. Okay. So here's some questions I ask myself when I'm in a trade and I'm actually watching the candles. I ask myself, who's winning here? Okay. If it's a big green body, buyers are winning. A big red body, the sellers are winning. If it's a tiny body, nobody's really winning there, right? There's a battle, but nobody's really winning. 2, was there any kind of rejection? A long upper wick, sellers rejected the high, and there's more downward pressure. A long lower wick, buyers rejected the low. All right. So I really want to see if I want to look at the story that the candles are telling me, and I want to ask myself, is the story the same or is it changing? Okay, because that might signal a reversal, a pullback. That might tell me a momentum slowing. I could get an exit signal. So you want to take all of these things into consideration when you're watching the candlestick charts. Okay, reading candles is not a one-time skill. You are not going to just watch this video and be an expert on reading candles, okay? It's a language, and you get more fluent in it the longer you watch the charts. Screen time is the whole game, so you can put your broker platform into paper trade mode and just watch. You could watch with live money, but really just watch the candles and watch the price action and see what story it's telling you. Sometimes it really helps me, even now, but it really helped me last year when I was first starting, to just say it out loud. Okay, like, so for example, and I guess I do this on my live stream, right? I'll be like, ooh, the price is going up, long green candle. Oh, another long green candle, price is still moving up. Well, I see a pullback, a small red candle, another small red candle. Maybe we have a breakout coming. Here we go, long green candle. So sometimes saying it out loud, honestly, really, really helps. All right. So that is a wrap for today. I will be doing a lot more videos. Like I said, I will definitely do a video on all the different kinds of candles and all the cute little names that are out there for the candles, which actually is a great mnemonic device that helps us remember them. And I will be posting content on the weekends, on non-trading days. I'll be posting educational type content. And during the week, please join me for my live stream, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then I will post a daily recap after that. All right, guys, go study your candlesticks, listen, see what they're telling you, and trade smart.